first, today I want to introduce to you the vertical limits and how to work with those. But first of all, we'll just do a really quick recap on what a band looks like when it's continuous. So here I've drawn up a really easy little band, just 4 dots, 3 dots, one continuous long line that runs through that ribbon. Now, what you can do in order to make your ribbons more interesting is you can put in limits or stops. And first of all, we're going to put in a stop. So here again, I've drawn up 4 dots, 3 dots, but from the from the second dot on the bottom row, I draw a stop or border or limit up, if you like. And then we're going to work with our band with the limit in place. So we start from the side like we normally do, bottom, come up. Here I can't go further, so here I have to turn around, go back. So we're working the same way that we normally do, but now I can come underneath and then come up, come back, and here again I can't go further, so then I turn around again. So this is what your band would look like when you have a limit in place. Now, one thing that's important here is to understand how to place your vertical limits. So here, my limit, although there's only there's 2 rows of dots, you could say, well, this is an outside dot, but it goes in towards the band because it goes towards the other line. The problem arises if you take a dot, we just take the same dot here. I'll show you what happens. Basically, this is a rule. You're not allowed to put your vertical limit from a dot and bring it towards the outside of the ribbon. So here, what happens, see, it looks all fine. And then I come up here, but then now what? I can't go any further. So you might think, okay, well, I'll just go in between my first dot and the dot with a stop. What happens then? Let's see what happens. Oh, I can't go further because this dot is already in my grid. So then, you could say, well, I'll just move it around this way. But this is not the correct way of doing it. So I'm going to put a big red cross there and a happy green tick here. So always remember, when you work with your limits and stops, when you put in your limit, don't move from the outside, don't place a stop or limit on a dot at the outside of your band and moving it out. Always move it in towards the center of the band. So down here I'll have another example that I want to show you. So again, here I've put up 2 rows of dots, 6 in the top line, 5 in the bottom line, and here we're going to put in another limit, and we're going to start at the side here and then coming down and then up and then down. Now, this is not going to be a surprise to you if you've seen some of the previous videos, that in some of the bands you have to use more than one line in order to get to the end of your band. So here I would start my second line here, go up, but then I can't get further, so I have to turn around and then all the way to the end and then turn around and then meet my line where I started it. So here's the first line, here's the second line, and then, oh, there's something missing over here. So again, it's the same. We go up. Here I'm at the end of my band, so here I can turn around, then to the side. Can't go further, so I come back and meet my line where I started it. So here, the third line. Oops, nearly wrote 2, that's why it looks a bit funny. So the third line is there. So down here I've drawn up 10 dots and then 9 dots below that. And again, it's just to really show you that you can really play around. Remember, don't go down out of the band from the outside. You want to move towards the inside. And if you could put in stops here as well from the top line, but then they have to come down towards the bottom here. But we're just going to work with this line here, the way it looks. So here we come round, go back, and then here we can go under our stop, and then over, and then down, and then up, and then around, up, we come to our stop, so then we come down, and then over, and down. So here, again, we're going to need, in this band here, more than one line. So this is our first line here that we've used. I would start my next line here, and again, that's my second line. I've started here, and I still need to finish my band at the end with my third line. Next week, I'm going to show you how you can work with horizontal stops or limits. So come back next week for a new foam drawing exercise.